Who has hair? All right, so we're live. Pull up other one. All right, welcome. Thank you for joining us here today. We're here thanks to Techlahoma, our volunteers, and our speakers. Techlahoma is a nonprofit volunteer-run organization that puts on 39 groups and 2 conferences and sponsors free, I said that wrong, I did a 39 groups, 2 conferences, and sponsors local free events. We do all of this to support our mission to advance the grassroots tech community of Oklahoma. Learn more at techlahoma.com. There's a code of conduct on there, and we all need to follow it. We're not on Twitch. We're at 36 Degrees North. 36 Degrees North donates the space for us to meet. They also offer free workshops as well as co-working desks and offices for a monthly fee. You can find more information at the front desk. And that's the normal intro part. But Techlahoma is actually a really cool organization. There's a ton of different events you can go to. I believe October 23rd in OKC is their next big event. So if anyone's near the OKC area or wants to go, that's going to be a big all-day event.
Okay.
And then they put on other groups. I don't know. Do you guys do other types of coding or anything like that? Like, are you in? Because there's Agile is really big, where they do project management. So all the people that are like, oh, we love project management and stuff. Like that's a huge group. And then Tulsa Web Dev is another huge group. So if you guys make your web dev, like
you guys technically I am.
I would check out the web dev group. They're real big, so a lot of people go to them and they have a lot of fun. And then there's also Hack Night occasionally will show up every now and then. And that's where you just come and then just, if you're working on something, show off what you're working on, no matter what it is, and just hang out with people and all that. Yeah, so I recommend going to the website, techlahoma.org. And now I'm going to officially start the meeting. So there's no topic for tonight in the sense of we need to go over this or anything like that. I do have some random things I wanted to go over. We previously went to a big convention during the summer, that SitterCon, and got a lot of feedback from people playing games and stuff like that. We're trying to get more people involved in like, hey, put your game out there, go to a show, go to a convention, anything, and like have it be shown. So the Tulsa Game Festival is the big event that we're putting towards getting people out there and doing stuff, and like, oh, if I have a project, I can go and show it off. Are you working on any projects or anything like that? Even if, because like Justin Meyer does mocap, so he's literally just going to go there with a demo reel and be like, this is what I do, go talk. So if you like write or make music or anything, literally just bring whatever you have and just show it off.
So it'd be a way to show off your portfolio or anything that you're working on at the time?
Anything. Awesome. So whatever you feel is the most important thing you should be showing off. Glenn, you're working on your project.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're on track?
Get there.
Okay, cool.
We'll get there. Maybe. Like you, I need my art.
Yeah, right. Mine's coming though. I'm assuming yours is also.
I hope mine is.
Yeah. No, Adrian literally said like, I got to do Glenn's art this week. Like, he's like, I just been sick. I literally talked to him Tuesday. So.
Because I was looking around on Upwork, and apparently I got some feedback, and I wasn't offering enough money for what I wanted. But I did get like one really good piece of concept art out of it. But I don't have the money to pay for what they were asking. So.
Yeah. So I guess. And then, so yeah, that's why I do these sort of events so people will go put stuff out there. So the big question is, I mean, more people might show up and we'll have to re-ask it. Is anyone stuck on anything? You're like, man, I need help. What do we got?
I work on with the Godot engine, and I guess this is not exactly a normal issue. And I don't have my project on my computer. I left it on my desktop. I don't know why I did that. But basically, the problem I'm having right now is regards to my player movement. I have been able to do the non-player movement to where I can run, jump, walk, sprint. But the problem is that I've got it programmed in such a way that I've asked in the official Godot Discord server and fan server, and they gave me answers to check to see if the block is running, to see if it's running. I found out that for some reason in my coding, when I sprint, I lose the ability to jump. But if I jump and then sprint, I can move forward really fast. I have not been able to find a way for why my jump block of coding is not kicking in when my sprint is. I've tried moving it around. I've tried pocketing it inside of the sprint code itself, so that would work. It did not work.
Probably some Boolean you're not seeing somewhere, true, false.
Yeah, I thought,
I'm sure it's something very simple.
I know that's what makes me go.
Yeah.
It's probably something simple. I'm probably staring at it, and it's just not me. So I've both screenshot it.
So, are you in the Discord?
Yes, I am in the
Just throw in the Godot Discord when you get home tonight, and we'll
We
take a
have
look
our
at it.
Godot channel.
Okay.
And they're always wanting new people in there to post stuff.
So how does your jump function work?
Yeah.
Does it check to see if you're grounded first? If
Yes.
How, if it does?
It checks to make sure that it is touching the floor. But I didn't change that programming because I was recommending me to make it to where just if my gravitational is at 0 from contact, then jump is enabled. I did that as well, but that actually made it to where jump could not be activated, period, when it was movement. When I was moving, jump worked. It's when sprinting, the movement does not kick in, period.
You have like a different animation that might adjust.
Oh, I don't have any animation on it. Right now, I'm just having it. It's a beam. There's no animation or anything. I have it to where the collision is straight with the floor at all times, other than when it's
Is your
jumping.
collision just a capsule collider or is it a square collider?
Capsule.
Capsule does.
Yeah, I've double checked to make sure that it wasn't square, and maybe it was like it's not catching to the edge. But everything I've done, it would not work. I think I can pull up a screenshot and send it into the Discord now. Actually.
My early tutorials with 2D always suggested making a separate collider for the ground itself. So you would have this big area in which you would have contact to the ground. A capsule collider.
Also, you are using it is on ground function, right? In Godot.
Yes.
Okay, good.
It is on floor.
You guys game developers?
Yeah.
Okay, jump on in. So it's not a lecture or anything like that. We just hang out.
I've been to
you-
one of these before.
You what?
I've been to one.
Which one? It had been years ago.
I was here, I think a year ago, and then I went to one at TU, but I don't know if that was related.
That's Unity.
Oh, yes, you look very familiar. Okay.
Okay. Are you with Professor Akron? And
No.
you always say you're somewhere else over there?
I'm just here.
No, do you go to TU though?
Uh,
Oh, okay.
I wanted to say.
Or were you with Mayfield?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he sends people our way. And so, yeah. Anyways, we're having a big event. So we will all do this. And then, does anyone have a portfolio? Send me or send. Here, I'll go call it.
I don't have a game portfolio.
No, doesn't matter. We have an art section.
What?
So message me and then I'll put your portfolio on there. It's also game dev technically. There's no like official membership or anything like that. And then do you guys have a portfolio? Then like do you have art stations yet? Are you guys artists or are you guys programmers? Your art you art just get an art station tonight.
I already have an art
You have
station.
one.
I don't put anything on it.
Yeah, I would literally get one tonight, even if it's just blank. That's where everyone goes. That's where I will literally go there and be like, oh, what artists are there? Let me try and get a job or hire them out and stuff like that. So I would get an art station. Okay, so we'll go over names in a second. We were talking about he's in a project in Godot. Usually when people come in, we ask what he's stuck on, and then we do that. So your problem is a collider issue, it sounds like, and then
Well,
we got
That was a possibility.
what possibility? And so,
Yeah.
do you have any example code or anything?
For some reason, it won't let me bring it up on my
I'm
phone.
not sure.
It won't, when I click on it, for some reason, it won't come up. But yeah, that's the coding I've been using. And for some reason, when sprinting, I can't jump. But when I jump and then press sprint, it activates. But the moment I'm back on the floor, it will not let me jump again.
Did you show it to Glenn also?
Yeah.
'Cause he's in Godot because that's Godot script.
So language is a little different than what I've
it's
seen.
tiny, but for some reason, when I click on it, it won't let me bring full screen.
The aspect of it's pretty much the same. I know even in Unity, sometimes colliders, if they're very thin, like the end of a capsule, would cause weird issues. That's what I was suggesting that.
Where do you define jump velocity?
I define it outside of the coding, I think. Let me double check.
And are you instantiating
yeah.
it and then define it, or are you defining it later?
I'm defining it at the beginning as a variable.
It sounds like I'm going to ask something rude, but it's not.
No, go
Have you
ahead.
downloaded like 5 other platformer tutorials and just see what they did?
Yeah, I did.
What do you do different that they do?
Well, 2 of them, one of them was a platform from 3 years ago, so it was an older form of the code, but
Yeah.
I was able to figure out that it was because of that coding that I was able to find out that for some reason this line of code between 23 and 25 just was not working while sprinting. But when I wasn't sprinting, it was working just fine. That's when I kept on going through all the other tutorials, and it was not an issue that was ever announced. I went to the comments, I went to GitHub, I went to Udemy, I went to anything that was Godot related in 3D platforming. It was just an issue that wasn't brought up or talked about. So I got stuck on it.
Is there an input? Like if you're holding down a button and then you press another button, it's like, no, it's consuming all input. So it's like,
I tried that as well.
Okay.
Because that's what I was like, okay, maybe that's why I need to bring into that, because if I press shift, it's going to go to this line of code and ignore that I press jump. So I thought that if I nestled it into the same programming, it'll do it the same way. I did that, and I could still jump, but even if I sprinted and then jumped, it wouldn't activate the jump. It was as if sprint would overrule the jump feature. And I made sure to go through the coding to make sure, okay, am I accidentally putting this coding in twice? Am I accidentally not putting it in at all? And just for some reason, I even went to the settings to make sure I even justified, yes, there is a sprint button, and it just would show up.
have you tried using ridiculously large numbers to see if maybe it's just an exaggeration thing? Because I know sometimes I'll do something and then be like, okay, I'm going to make it 100,000. Okay, and it barely moved, and it's like, okay, I need to do something else.
Yeah, that'll be it, because I actually had to gargantuize the programming from what I've found out to get to work on my platform, but I never messed with jumping.
So that might be part of it.
Yeah, that'd probably do it.
Write that in your notes.
Yeah.
Because literally go through all of these because one of them is going to work, hopefully.
Yeah, one last thing before we get to a different topic. What's the difference between your walking and your sprinting? Does it have an animator shift or?
No, I just
you
basically made
increase the speed.
I just made it just speed basically in program.
So,
in the program,
have you tried
it to
making
where
your walking speed the same as if you were sprinting and see if you can still jump? Then you can determine if it's something to do with your sprinting or it's just the speed in which you're going in there. Anyway, what do you guys do?
I've been here before. I kind of thought it's still on. We both have people trying it. We did a lot of wonder stuff.
So like 3D art?
Yeah. I'm better first in like Photoshop. I got my Photoshop certification.
Maybe it's you.
I'm kind of like a feedback group,
Not you.
but programming it gets stuck tricky.
Something deep to put your feet into, that's for sure. It's a lot more complex than what it looked like from the outside, but
Always realized I went a lot better than all the but the issue is that
you want to do everything from scratch, yeah.
I don't
There's
know
lots of
where
stuff you can
I don't
find
know
out.
where to look.
Have you gone to Turbo Squid?
I don't know anything. Mr. Mayfield, he was supposed to teach us a lot of stuff, but this year he kind of taught us the tutorials.
Okay.
So I don't know a lot about anything when it comes to Blender or 3D art.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to figure it out. So I don't. If you have any website recommendations, I have to figure it out.
Okay. That first, we have a Discord. Jump in the Discord, and then it's on the card. So if you guys want to join the Discord, yeah, it's on there. So, and then,
Using Unity, you can always use stuff in the asset store as well, which you can find 3D models there. Some of which are really
Can you do rigging in Unity?
not inside Unity. You'll have to go back into Blender.
FBX type print
yeah,
export thing?
I believe it's OBJ is what you want to use with Unity, right?
Yeah, but if
FBX
you
is-
get the model from the asset store, you should be able to export the base model back into
Yeah.
the base.
I know there's a, because I've used it myself, I'm using them all, but isn't there an add-on for Blender that does the rigging for you automatically?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is nice, but that's not something I want to do. Like, I wanted to get into more complex stuff and do like controllers, kind of studio based stuff,
Mhm.
and get like points going on the Facebook making rigs.
Right.
Which it seems like an auto rig is a nice thing, but I feel like it'd be really good to know.
Almost definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. That the auto rig's only going to help you with like humanoids, really. I created like a news monster where I had auto rigging. So I already rigged everything up to that point. Seeing your characters come to life and be animations.
It's very,
It's bliss.
it's very.
Are you doing animation?
Yeah, I mean.
Or are you
I
doing
can
modeling?
do it. I'm not a fan of this, but I can do it.
Well, are you like what is your main focus? Are you want rigging?
Mhm.
Okay. That's bless you if you can figure it out because like rigging is really hard.
That's kind of why I did it.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's all numbers, so
Yeah.
if something's wrong, I just gotta change the values until it works.
No, I was gonna say my recommendations. If there's gonna be animation, is the Animator Survival Guide. It's a book. I would get that. Are you guys in animation also, or
I think actually, I think I've actually read some of it.
just yeah? You can get the PDF, and then oh man, what's the Disney one? All the rules.
Speaking everything Disney nowadays. They own half of everything.
The Illusion of Life. I would get The Illusion of Life if you can find a copy because they were all made in the 80s, and then you just have to track one down.
But that's for more animation stuff.
It's animation, but it applies to just making art in general. And like when you're doing rigging and stuff, those rules are still there because a lot of those people learned, and then they taught them at Pixar and stuff like that. They went and they're like, oh, this is how you do that, and this is how we're going to do it in 3D. So a lot of those still apply.
You'd be surprised how much 2D animation can actually apply to 3D animation.
So I would start that and then make sure you have all basics down for that sort of stuff. And then next thing is I would learn Unity, Unreal, and then Godot.
What was the last one?
Godot. Okay. And when you make something, you need to make sure it looks great. If you're model, it's your model. Rigging is going to be a whole different thing.
Wait, is all of our Godot users on this side of the table?
Respect to Godot.
There's not that many Godot users.
Sorry, Unity.
Okay.
Okay. No,
Just on the outside.
Yeah.
I feel that number.
it's okay.
I
Usually
used
there's
to be
only one
Unity. I
Godot
used to be
user.
Unity,
Yeah.
but just the learning curve was too much for me.
That's not good. Very good. What were we about to have? If you're doing rigging, like that's its own world. Oh, get a model, load it up in Unity, and then figure out how to rig it in Unity.
So you can rig it.
Well, no, you need to figure. I don't. Okay, so I don't know Unity. That's a whole different. I can tell you about Unreal and then how to
If
do.
you're talking
You do
about
return.
how to paint the vertices so that they move with the bone, you have to do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. I am very well aware of that.
But the reason is because I'm assuming you're gonna get hired. You're gonna get hired away from Tulsa. I know it sucks, and you're gonna leave and get a good job somewhere. That's hopefully the hope, right?
That's
Okay.
that's everyone's hope.
That's my hope.
Okay. But you don't know if the studio that's going to hire you, are they going to be using their own engine? Are they going to be using Unity? Or are they going to be using Unreal? So you need to be able to show like, hey, I was able to do this in Unreal. I was able to do this in Unity. Here's the exact same thing. It doesn't matter where you put me. I'm going to be able to solve your problem.
I think he's meaning how to import your stuff and make it work.
You need to know at least all three. Godot is not as important right now. No offense.
No, it's okay.
Because AAA studios aren't using it. So the people that are going to be paying big money for it, they're not using it. Where?
I was gonna say mine. I didn't need an
No, you can use mine. Hey, Chandler.
Honestly, I haven't heard someone recommend mine in a long time.
Yeah, the quicker you know how to get into all the engines, then you can be like, hey, here's this. And then I don't know rigging portfolios or anything like that. Do you guys know what GDC is, the Game Developers Conference? Okay, look up GDC conference.
They have a YouTube channel. and
Yeah, they have a
it's
YouTube.
It's an astounding amount of information.
It's
Is
pretty.
that the same as CSGC?
No. CSGC was at 2U.
Was that? It was 2 years.
Yes, they hosted it, and it was their event.
Weird. Okay.
All right. And so, but the reason I'm saying go to GDC is you need to look for, they do a talk every year called Killer Portfolio or Portfolio Killer. And anyone that goes into art, that's the main one you need to watch that goes into like, oh, am I putting this thing in here that's going to actually get me not hired or hired?
Actually, their video they posted last week was about portfolios and resumes on artists, game developers, and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and how to go about it and how to compare yours to people
I
that are
mean,
in the
I'm on YouTube
business.
here. Let me.
Yeah.
Portfolio.
Udemy is a good website to get tutorial videos and stuff like
Yeah.
that. That's what I.
A lot of the courses are actually free.
Yeah, right. Literally, the newest one from this year just got posted 3 days ago.
Yeah.
So they do it every year. But yeah, it's an hour-long talk. Go check that out. Actually, are you sign up in the Discord real fast?
I found it.
Are you on Discord though?
I can't.
Okay, I was gonna say I was gonna put it in the chat that way you can see it. I'm just gonna post it anyways. All right, if you go in there, there's random or anything. I'm just gonna throw it in random. So if you see it, that's there, and I recommend watching that. And then you can go back and literally watch it for every year, and they get different advice. Something like that. So, what about you two? Or do you have more questions or anything? Or
No.
no questions or thoughts? Are any of you guys stuck on anything? The DJ man, you stuck on anything? Okay. Do you guys want to? This is Elliot, who's here. Welcome. He's the game maker person. So is anyone using game maker over here? No. Okay. Are you using game maker, Charlie? Or are you just saying hi?
I use Godot.
You just go, okay.
Yes, another one of us. Yeah, because it was just us two.
All right. First,
Signal Club.
I'm just gonna go around say my name and like tools you use or anything like that. Is that okay with everyone? That way,
A lot of new people.
just like you guys are new. So I'm Daniel, and then I run this event with a bunch of other people, help from other people. So we're live actually, just so you guys know. And so it's also going to and then also Unreal Engine Meetup. So every third Thursday is that, but it's on the air. It's inside of the Tulsa Game Dev Discord. So if you're wanting to join that one, we do it online so that whoever's doing something, you can share your screen and be like, oh, I'm working on this thing. You don't have to take your computer there or whatever. Also, majority of us are from Broken Arrow. So it's easier for all of us to just meet online instead of coming all the way down here. So I'll
The over here was $20 a
My
line.
name is Robin.
Did you really
I'm an
read it?
artist.
Yes.
That is all I do.
What kind of art?
Pixel art, 2D art. That's it.
You say all as if you don't make games. Like you've shipped.
Oh,
games.
okay. I've made one game at a game jam.
You're making one more.
Oh,
now.
okay. I am in the process of making a line more game as well. Sorry.
One of us.
One of us. One of us. There you go. We almost had to get I'm a Unity developer. My name is Chaz Archon. And I also lead the Unity group here in Tulsa alongside TU.
Ellis, I don't make a lot of games. I've
Yeah.
competed. I've done a game jam. I'm mostly art at the moment. I got my Photoshop certification months ago. So I'm really happy about that. And that's a lot of Blender. That was my part.
I'm Ray. I wasn't in making like a game, but
programming and stuff is definitely something good to have on your resume.
What language are you programming?
Things like PowerShell, like variety of languages.
I'm Sherry. I'm a beginner artist, so I'm here to learn more about the website.
The learner or is it position?
That's a learn.
I suggest Udemy. They have lots of really good artists, tutorials. Udemy. What are you're using Blender too?
Oh, no, I'm just barely getting started, so I'm trying to learn what
Or you're just looking at stuff? Okay. Are you want to get into 2D or 3D art?
I'm doing to be correctly, but I'm looking to do it.
Okay, you might want something that is both. I don't have any suggestions.
I find good success from looking at YouTube tutorials. I learned most of what I know about Blender trying to make some low poly first person arms.
Yeah.
I'm Elliot. As Daniel said, I'm the game maker guy. I've shipped a few games to Game Maker, mainly programming, but I've also been 2D and 3D art.
Recently releasing it.
Yes. My name's Chandler. I work currently in Godot. I made 3 games in Unity as part of Skill Project, and I'm currently working on my first solo game, Wendigo Hunt. It's like a survival. It's like a survival horror hunting game where you're placed into an open world forest and have to survive and feed yourself, all while trying to hunt down and kill a Wendigo.
Exactly.
My name's DJ. I'm kind of just starting my game development journey. So started with Unity and Twine.
Anything you want to work on soon? You have a
Uh,
game idea in your mind that you want to work
yeah,
on?
I have a couple floating around in there. We'll figure
You're
it out.
welcome to share it.
Like what?
One is like a cozy game where you are a merchant and you're starting out selling hockey wares on a rug, and you basically work up building chains and owning a storefront, all that. You go out, gather materials at first, and you come back, and then eventually you start setting up chains where other people will go gather materials for you and bring it back.
Like by the end, you have like a giant rug inside the room.
You start with your rug, and then you get to a stall, and then you get to a storefront, and then you end up have just a whole retail empire.
Better you just had 2 machines with rug.
Yeah.
Just a giant rug.
A rug that goes from the side of the sidewalk into the road, and you can only break it, you buy it. People run over the stuff all the time.
Right.
It goes to rapid around the room.
Yes. Yes.
Even in the end game, you still don't want to home.
I'm Glenn. I work in Godot. I think I worked in Game Maker once for an hour and I hated it, so I went to Godot instead.
Sorry.
And then after that, I went to Stencil and ended up hating it more, but I worked in that for too long. Then I went to Godot. Right now, I'm working on a sort of hybrid game, which may or may not be too ambitious. It's sort of management / stealth / game simulator. I have an idea in my head. It's getting there. And I should have something worth showing around October. Currently waiting on art from another member of the group, but overall, I think it's been going pretty well.
I'm Braden. I have been doing game development on and off for like 3 years, but I have not made a single game fully other than for myself. But right now, I'm currently working on probably my first public release, and it'll basically be a 3D version of Lethal League, that's called. I am a Godot developer, and right now I'm currently getting practice in with Blender for my 3D models and Krita for my textures and environments.
So the game you're making is 3D right now.
Yes, I have the movement down as well as I have a test environment to do it right now. Like for instance, you saw earlier, I'm still trying to figure out the sprint mechanic, and once I get that handled, I'll then be adding in the collisions and all that stuff of a ping pong ball being shot back and forth, and then from there, I'll try to get as much of a demo as I can done before the showcase on October.
A lot of games are 3D and Godot, are it?
I've seen a few 3D and I've seen a few 2D, and I've seen some that are hyper 2D. It's
a versatile engine.
yes, it is very versatile, but because of that,
Your game's 3D as well, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, and I don't
But
know
I-
why I'm thinking that's archaic.
I can say that Godot is very versatile, but because of that, it is not specialized in anything. So in a lot of regards, there are a lot of times that I have to use an add-on or I have to use other people's examples of how to fix problems because it's problems that Unreal have, Godot doesn't have, but at the same time, Unreal Engine can be far superior in a lot of things that Godot is like barely to do. So it's a good engine to practice with.
Unreal been around 5 years now.
Yeah, Godot was first made in 13 or
Well, Epic Mega Games been around longer than
Yeah.
20 years.
So Unreal,
Unreal,
the first
yeah.
game,
25 years.
Unreal
Yeah, yeah,
was
yeah.
like 97. No,
Yeah.
it was 99.
I thought 98.
99, I think is when. Oh no, I'm thinking Unreal, then Unreal Tournament. When Unreal come out?
Yeah.
The first one. It was like 98, I want to say.
Yeah, I thought the first game of
Uh,
Unreal was 98, and then it became a better thing in 99.
That into a soul. The castle.
Let's see if I can find
There we go.
1998.
That's right.
Yeah. I was gonna say it was before Half-Life, but
Yeah.
after Quake, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was after Quake.
it was after
Quake was
Quake.
the first one.
Yeah.
It blew everyone's minds.
So, is anyone working on anything and they want to show it off?
I
Got any?
wanted to, but I forgot to bring it on my
Forgot to
computer.
bring
So it's like a,
You do?
Well, I don't have anything to show off. I got stuff on board.
Is your laptop here? Oh, okay. What about you, Glenn? You got your game.
I do, but
You don't want to show it?
it's so small. I want to hold on. Do they make you bring your own cable for the projector or whatever? I just want to see.
I'm in I have no idea.
Probably not too hard to figure out. I got controller.
It'd be really cool if there's like a Bluetooth projector.
No, you plug it in.
Oh wait, no one knows he's right there.
you went that way, and I'm expecting to see a thing come down. I was like, it's already
No, it's
Stage
Misdirection.
What if this can even support?
Just switching it up.
Let me.
Rotate.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. So I didn't know it was over here.
No, you're good. You're
That's age equal to.
talking too much Xbox.
Next to five.
So what games has everyone been playing?
I've been playing Gravekeeper.
What's that now?
Graveyard Keeper.
Graveyard Keeper.
Yeah.
What's that?
From the I got it yesterday for my birthday. But
Birthday.
yeah, thank you. It's so far from what I've gotten, it's you are a person that recently died in a car accident or something like that. You got brought into a fantasy world, and your job now is to be a graveyard keeper. And in doing so, you also become the owner of a church. You have to do prayers and all that stuff. And you'll, depending on the items that you do or the events that you do, not as a church, but just as a graveyard keeper, you'll gain points. And those points you use to unlock recipes, techniques, technology, and all that stuff. To basically build your way up.
All right.
And I've gotten so far into the game that it's hinted at that the more you progress, the closer you are to going back home. But I don't know how yet. I got it yesterday. I played maybe 3 or 4 hours on it. I love it. It is. I had to set an alarm to remind myself to come here because I was just fed up playing it.
That is
Yeah. But otherwise, besides that, I always go back to the classics whenever I just want to think of something or just have fun. Skyrim, Moon Factory, Harvest Moon, that kind of stuff. Yeah. I also got the Satisfactory.
Show off your shit.
I considered it like that. What about you guys? Yeah.
Again, this
uh,
can't just go there and work or start drawing this game.
yesterday.
Break by break.
So
I've seen shorts of that on my.
Yeah, we're gonna
on my
try to slide it
recommended.
up.
But I haven't heard any news about it. What is it about as a game?
it's like a dungeon-based crawler almost.
Okay.
Is it that, what's it called again?
Remnant.
Remnant.
It's an older game, 2019, but this let's say Remnant 2 started coming across my feeds. So I was like, what's the first one? And then I could see it. Then that someone else wanted to see the story. What I hear about.
Yeah.
Stuff. But it's basically just
I tried that, doesn't work on my
play.
place. So I have the Linux experience. Whatever. I've been playing.
Here, flip it around to the show.
We're software show. That's small.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna do tiny screen.
Get a magnifying glass.
I don't know if this is weird.
Been
Just gotta get everything in place.
getting through
Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs.
and
Star Wars Episode 1 Racer.
Are you like from 1999?
yes,
Oh wow.
yes, after Pod Racer from 1999.
Yeah, that's cool.
You're a nice guy.
All right. Man, that was a great scene.
Yeah, only one of 2 good scenes.
Okay.
Let's see if this works.
I believe it's 25 years old now.
What?
Star Wars: The Phantom
Yeah, the
Menace.
Phantom Menace. Yeah, episode 1 Racer.
Where do we want to put this around?
Just flip it.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is my game so far, very basic. I know. So, yo, Q. You can move around up here. Or you then
Sedating sim part.
it's part of it. It's a dialogue system. So
Can you
there,
date this Jamie?
later.
Oh.
There are NPCs. You can talk with them. You can get more information on them. Basically tells you all this. You do your basic stuff. Yeah, the premise is that you just start working at this big mega corporation as the new IT guy, and you have to basically secure.
There's got to be a smaller password.
Yeah, I'm thinking about
It's
changing that
realistic,
because I'm
maybe.
realizing maybe that's not very fun. Yeah, there are 2 other people here. Do this backwards. This is security guy. You can talk with anything. Ross.
You hate Ross.
No.
That would make your stealth part so much easier.
Well, there are a lot. It all sort of designed. Well, there are different ideas because the idea is that there also be other security guards you could hire.
Okay, so it's kind of like a corporate offense management type of deal.
Yes, precisely. That works.
You have to like obey HR and be like, no, I'm saying
Not quite.
I wish that was.
Well, no, the whole premise is that like the first, like there's a set of emails you got your first day, and one of them is saying like, oh, just as a reminder, company policy on dating has been relaxed. So now,
Hopefully.
I know we're going really deep into the dating sim part, but what was the stealth part again?
Corporate espionage? That part of it?
That was that's what I'm thinking.
Because I remember you setting up
crash.
cameras.
Oh,
you crash right. Where's that? All right, because I was refactoring.
that's the sneaky part.
But the idea is that
you can sneak.
the idea is that while you're also the IT guy for this company, you're also working for this extremist group who has infiltrated this company, and you are working with them as well to get info on the company and bring it down.
You're a double agent.
Yes.
Corporate espionage.
So you are basically implementing systems that you also have to work around.
But you fall in love?
See, the thing
You
is
fall
that
in love along the way.
you can seduce other people, learn more about the organization,
Oh, social engineering.
manipulate and things like that. Yes.
Oh, so it's not actually a dating. You don't get to fall in love then?
No.
Oh, you
You,
can.
you seduce them to get secrets.
It's up to you why you want to seduce that.
Well, I want to seduce Ross so that he'd look away if he sees me on the cameras. You see?
I feel like this is just a bunch of bards.
Let us seduce Ross.
Let's see what else.
Well, excuses for
Okay, one of the other characters is an old lady. Her name is Cheryl, and she has been working there. I'm.
Can you seduce yourself?
I really don't know.
Can you
I'm still
seduce-
trying to figure out.
Now that you've opened a can of worms and you
Can you
can't get it back in,
seduce-
so you should just embrace it.
I know.
It gains self-awareness and you have to seduce it to survive.
But
You want a programmer.
a lot of the little things I'm thinking about is that she's this annoying old lady who doesn't know how to use a computer. So she's constantly bothering you like,
no.
my computer's not working. What's not working?
Oh,
So like
she's
one-
seducing me.
Yeah, like every day she's always trying to track you down and get you to do something for her. Like the day one, she's like, there's something wrong with my computer. Can you look at it? And there'll be like five different dialogue windows say like, no, I can't. Are you sure? No, I'm busy. Are you sure? Really? I can't do anything about this. I'm sure. I need to go now.
She's trying to come up with an excuse to get with you.
Yeah, and basically,
Geeks like what experience?
so while you're fixing her computer, you find she keeps her password under her keyboard, so then you can use that to log in later at night and steal her data.
Oh!
Or get her phone number.
Okay.
So
But that's another thing.
We're slowly resealing the can. We're slowly doing it, but we're still jabbing.
But what's really meta is that like you bring in her desktop, and of course it's got like 100 different icons all scattered on her desktop with her JPEG of her cat as a background, because that's just how old ladies are. And then like one of the files you're supposed to steal for the organization is like confidential files, but there's nothing in the desktop. There's one where it's called like lasagna recipe good.jpg, and you can steal that. Then later on when you're on a date, you can make that lasagna and get more romance points.
So you can date her.
Depending on the character is 30, the character is like 60. You want to push that?
You gotta make options available for everyone.
You
Gotta
give
accessibility. There are people that are going to be wanting to explore this option. You
want to go home.
I saw somebody
If you
get a
don't do it,
negative
someone will
review
want it.
recently because colorblind was not like perfect, and they complained about it not being super colorblind accessible, and then
Game does not have braille support.
well, no, you can do filters and stuff like that.
Yeah, but okay, here's the one thing I don't get is that they're adding like sign language in the games now. What's wrong with subtitles?
Well, okay, so
It might be a game to teach
Because
people
is
anytime.
American
so there's people that have like how they interpret that. It's just as hard to read lips it is to do sign language because you don't know the point of references on it because you can't put the sounds in there. So if you can see the hand movements, you're like, oh no, I know exactly what that is. It's more of a one-to-one thing. It's kind of like the difference between listening to an audiobook and reading a book. You're getting all the information, but one way might be easier for one person, one way might be easier for another.
Every time somebody brings up sign language, I just think of the sign language of an Eminem concert.
Any questions?
What
More
where-
feature requests.
What part of it are you working on right now?
Right now, I'm still just trying to get everything, basically get all the underlying systems, like all the different computers, all the different, set up dialogue options, like have you talked to them? What did you talk about? Did you do this? Did you get that installed? Did you get that set up? Basically just allow
There we go.
booleans and arrays to track down.
Any issues with property or along here?
Well, let's see, I've learned I hate dictionaries. Because,
Like the actual physical dictionary or the?
you know, like there's dictionaries where it's like USS, then like get dictionary entry for I, and it'll give you whatever I is matched to. But let's say I just want to get I. You can't do that unless it's really convoluted. So in that case, it's better just have a bunch of nested arrays. But I basically just redid the whole inventory system. Finally had a drag and drop, which is a lot harder than you think it would be. Oh wow. But yeah, basically just getting all the basic stuff set up.
Is there any chance of controller support in the future? Or are you going to be
Probably.
Okay.
It probably won't be too hard to set up because like Godot makes it really easy. You can literally just say this button is this control. Okay, so on. And you can remap it. That would be easy. What else? Did you have one? You had a question?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, it was more like what features are you planning on putting in there? 'Cause, like, yeah, we're talking the dating sim stuff, but I didn't know if it was like stuff people like, oh, this is the thing a little bit.
The idea is kind of like Splinter Cell in 2D, trying to see what works in 3D or what would work in a 3D game would work in a 2D game. Because when you take away doing it all in 2D, kind of narrows a lot of things down. But I can also see what else I can do with it. Because I'm doing something you're not really supposed to do in 2D, which is layering different layers on top of each other.
Okay.
Which I think for the most part actually works pretty well. But when it comes to navigating, the problem is like all the navigation shapes, they can't overlap at all. So if you have two layers on top of each other, like even though one's disabled or one layer is disabled, the other is enabled. If they're touching at all, it breaks. Everything breaks. Overlapping. But I did find one way around that where you can use like Godot has something called like navigation points, where you basically just for long distances you could just say like point here, straight line, and those can intersect and not cause issues. So the idea is kind of like a bunch of little islands of like polygons where they don't connect, and then working around that.
Okay. When's your release date? That was a joke.
Yeah. I want to have something ready by October.
Yeah.
Hopefully, like the first week of gameplay. Is what I'm looking for.
First week of what?
Because the game takes place over the course of several days.
Yeah.
So it'll be like day one, then night one, where you're sneaking around, day two, night two, so on. So 5 days worth, 5 business days.
Sure.
And I think once I get most of the underlying systems in, then the rest of it should just be fairly easy to go.
Are you limited on time per day, or do you have a limited time to do it?
Yes, you have a limited amount of time per day from 8 to 5. Because then at 5 o'clock, it kicks you out and basically forced to leave. And then you would break in later at night. You have a certain amount of time to get that. You also have to play cameras that you installed, guards that you hired. I think later on I'll add guns, because this is supposed to be like for like turrets, automated turrets, because it's a crazy mega corporation. So of course they would have those.
So that's 9 hours a day out. What's the ratio?
Hold on. What did I have it set to? By
Real life night.
Because I doubt. Yeah, I was about to say I doubt real 9 inward.
That would be some major grind.
Yeah, every day takes 9 hours of gameplay.
Major grind time.
Yeah, you want to get those passwords? You got to get those.
So 1 minute. 1 minute is actually 1.3 seconds. So
minute.
on average, you have about probably 7 minutes a day to get everything done.
Oh, okay.
But it's all pretty easy, just like
You said 1 hour is 1.3 seconds?
but 1 minute is 1.3 seconds. 1.3.
Oh, okay, I hear you saying that.
And if it has to change, I can adjust that easily later.
Yes.
It's been a fun learning experience. Any suggestions besides the obvious?
I think we can make something more. Like,
Oh no. That was the other idea I had. Is that like, well, how did I have this go? Where I think
Blame problems on other people. If that's true.
oh no, like, I think like you can later on you move on to this other office with different people, and I think the idea was that like one of the people you can romance is already in a relationship with someone, but you can sabotage that.
You housebreaker.
You could sabotage them, basically like set them up to get fired or paint them as like some evil, horrible person and then get them to break up and then date them instead and get them to go that way. Or, just straight up kill them.
Okay, I was about to say, can you unlike your coworkers?
It all depends on your goal. Because you ultimately decide who you want to side with.
Yeah. How many endings are you planning on?
Tentatively. I don't know, because the whole idea behind it was kind of like Papers, Please to its logical extreme.
Yeah.
Because like with that, it has a bunch of different endings, but you're mostly just doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And you kind of work on both sides. So it's a bit like a big bouillabaisse of Papers, Please and Hotline Miami and Splinter Cell, I guess. Because there aren't too many 2D stealth games. There was one I saw on Xbox Live a long time ago called Monaco.
I mean, there's the original Metal Gear.
That too. But okay,
That's a long time ago,
the
though.
thing with that though is that that's 2D, but that's also like RPG 2D, where it's like you can see this if this wall is right here, and you can like walk around behind it. This is fully top down, like
Right. What was Monaco?
It was some like Xbox Live arcade stealth game, where it was also top down. I think it was like a co-op where you had different classes you could choose, and each had different abilities. You had to.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I played it, I liked it. I've never found it again. I don't know what it was called.
Monaco. What's yours is mine.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
on Steam. Apparently, pretty good.
that.
I will try.
Hey, I can just send it to you.
Well, I have a data bank right here. She has about 2 gigs left on it.
Thanks. Thanks.
Nope.
The reason I was asking about multiple endings because it's like, could you just play the game and just be a jerk and just try and get like just being
Okay, the idea is
lots
you
of
have
chaos
to find the right balance between appealing to your corporate job and appealing to these extremists that you're working with. Because if you
those are the only two off. The only two.
So
More
you
or
can be a
less.
psychopath.
you could be still trying to work that out. Ideally, you don't want to kill people. That should only be
But
like
psychopath doesn't kill him.
that should only be like on last resort.
No.
In medical profession, psychopath
Means you have no
actually
feelings.
no, it's not that. Sociopaths have no feelings. So psychopaths understand the feelings, but use them to manipulate other people. At
Yeah.
least, or I'm mixing those two up. One of the two.
Okay, so yes, you can be a psycho.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what somebody. So you have to manipulate everyone around you to get what you want.
That's a sociopath.
Okay,
Psychopath is the one that
You're a mentally disturbed individual.
they can't understand feelings.
Okay, then I got them mixed up. Thank you for the
Okay.
clarification.
No, I didn't know if like I could get a job there in the game and then like get a promotion to like a whole department and then just not do anything in that department and just screw things up and get everyone fired underneath me and just cause chaos.
The thing is, like, if you're not doing your job, they'll find out and you will get fired.
No, I want to not do my job, but get everyone else blamed for it.
I mean,
And like the whole department gets like
real
everyone.
coworkers do that.
Yeah, and they do that like sort of like
Be more specific.
I want to be able to go in there and like take someone's lunch and just ruin their day is one feature because I've had it happen. Someone stole my lunch, and then like just all of the jerk things you can do in a like just go in there every day and like heat up tuna.
Oh God!
I know that's another one.
Microwave.
Yeah, microwave tuna, but then get promoted
I know that smell.
and then like everyone underneath me just make their life miserable and then be able to have them work on a project, get the project done, and then fire the team and then get the promotion for finishing the project and move on. Like just things like that that happen in real life. That,
Devilish, I like it.
And I'm a weird one from both lists. Hey, Monica, why aren't these papers finished? Oh, that's because Jacob forgot to give them to me.
yeah.
They're not due to the end of the month. It is the end of the month. Oh, I guess you could do
Basically, roll everyone under the bus but yourself.
Yeah.
that. That could work.
You like
We need a lot of time to kind of plan that out, but yeah, that could work because I've also worked in public schools, which is a lot more corporate than you think they would be.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which is like really weird.
Oh, yeah.
Ah,
Going
like-
going from private schools
It's
my
like-
whole life to working in a public school, it's so weird. It's weird. But like depending on one of the endings, that like there's this big gala, there's this big ball, and you can bring whoever your prize date to it was, then basically you have to sabotage the whole ball and like burn down the entire company and kill all of its one of the
Even
directors.
your date.
No, you can shoot the date in your alley.
Oh.
What I mean is,
In
as,
your
as you're
alley?
escaping, your date finds you, and then you can either truly love her, or
Not Ross.
Is there like a run? Okay, so like you go there, you're able to get the terrorist group. I don't know if they're terrorists. Get them all captured, make the company fall apart, but fall in love with someone, and you run off and get married, and like
yes,
you
so
destroyed
Mr. and Mrs.
everything,
Smith.
but your life is
Yes. Or you can also turn against this extremist group you're working with the company, who has its own military wing, because of Christie.
Yeah.
And then raid the extremist group. Right now, their leader, just as a tentative name, is called the Commissar, because
Well, you said raid. Is there going to be like shooting mechanics and stuff too?
yes.
Yeah, it's like Hotel Miami.
And you can work with your corporate date in the final raid.
Okay.
Don't imagine like
And of course, I know this sounds
this company
all,
down here is against this company, and they're just fighting each other.
and I know this all sounds very ridiculous right now, but
Oh, that's game too.
I'll get to it.
Sounds like there is a lot of stuff with it.
Again, well,
The dating simulation alone is way a lot.
Yeah.
To ask Ellie, he had a lot of dialogue.
yeah, I know yours did.
Yeah.
How'd you keep track? of,
Every
who
time I
talked
think dating
once?
sims, I just think of a lot of
He's a
somebody else
genius.
statements.
How much?
Sorry, say that again.
So your game or Moncon, how did you keep track of like who talked to what about what?
I mean, it's all state here. It's just
Live Booleans.
live Booleans, yeah.
All right. Mine is kind of broken up by day, so that's kind of how we done.
Are you gonna have a save system?
Yes, it'll save each day.
Well, obvious.
Right.
Okay.
At the end of each day and the end of each night.
Well, are you gonna do it like older Fallout? No, I remember. I guess the new Fallout 4 did it, where you can like save, go cause a bunch of chaos, then go back to your old save, and you're like, no, I want to go to this direction
Yeah.
now. Or are you gonna make it like, no, it's permanent?
Like Iron Man. Well, I guess you could have both, but in the end, if it's all saved on the player's device, and they want to.
What happened to Iron?
No, Iron Man.
Means you only can have one save
In
file.
XCOM, there's a mode called Iron Man where every time you
Never-
save, you can't go back.
No, I thought
You can't save
I
Scott.
thought you were talking about like Tony Stark Iron Man.
Yeah.
And I was like,
No.
what does that have to do
That,
with?
that was also the same.
Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Doctor Doom in the next event.
Yeah. So I guess
Wait, has that actually been confirmed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he made like a dramatic entrance.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, oh,
Because
you died.
I've seen him dress up, and I've heard people saying stuff. I didn't know it was actually confirmed.
Whatever. Marvel. What?
Whatever more money makes.
They're
More questions?
falling apart. They're just trying to stay relevant.
Any more questions?
that was my main one.
Can you set up Ross and Cheryl?
That's the thing. Can I say? I'm trying to think how that could work,
Yeah,
or how could that benefit? How could setting up other people benefit?
It makes them to where they distract each other so that you can get to their sit.
Watching the cameras and Cheryl and Ross are in their office.
Roman's the CEO, like straight away.
I'm not sure who the CEO is going to be.
Okay.
And then like
I'm not sure how much
you would
interaction you even have
compromise
with them.
it.
Well, the
Yeah, I was
chair
about
that's
to say,
sitting
like,
on
how
you
often do you talk to your CEO?
All right. So here's
I
what.
mean, none.
I'd be able to romance that number 1, 2 pencil.
Extremist boss.
That's the other thing I was thinking of. Maybe because you never see their face.
What happens if you set up both of the bosses? Be the in between.
Okay.
Don't throw away everyone's suggesting.
No,
'cause
no,
these are-
no, no. I'm not throwing that away.
These are what the streamers are going to want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they can do them, they'll do them.
Always remember you can pet the dog. Yes.
No, I'm gonna have a cat. There'll be a cat.
Okay.
There'll be a cat in your like hole or apartment, and there'll. I love the little things of the gamers that you can pet the cat. If you move the mouse like forward down its back, it likes you, but if you just go like this, it gets pissed off.
Right.
It's cat stuff like that. So if you just do like this,
Okay.
lots of little things.
Have you ever read the book Pride and Prejudice?
In high school.
In high school? Okay.
I've heard this book.
Okay.
I read it like a few chapters for an
It's a woman.
assignment in high school.
Okay.
That's it.
Oh,
Okay.
man. Oh, man. It
I
was
would
so
I would read
boring.
Pride and Prejudice because in that they go, it's like a bit older, but there's like you had to be introduced a certain way. You had to Fahrenheit 40, you know what? That's a great book though.
Yeah.
There's all these different social cues and social statuses and stuff like that in ways that you approach things. And then you have blackmail and stuff like, oh, did you hear about this person? I have this information on them.
Yeah.
And you basically use information as a weapon, but they do it in a really good way in the book. And like, it's not, I mean, it's technically a romance and they use gossip, but you can start rumors if you want to like you have different rumors you can start, or you can actually find actual blackmail about people and then either release it and then screw up their careers, or just hold it against them and make them work for you and have a blackmail system.
Yeah, you're
Did
just saying
someone-
it's the way all it is that light.
How do I install
eyes,
Blender?
It looks like
Hold on.
It's on Steam. There's on Steam. That's where I installed it from, at least.
You can
Install what?
You can install it from anywhere.
Steam?
You installed Blender off Steam?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. Yeah, you can go.
I
No, it's
know
on
you
Steam.
can.
You buy software.
Godot's on Steam
But at
also.
the same time,
You know,
I got Blender from the website. I got Godot from the website.
RPG, Godot, all of those are on Steam.
Okay, RPG Maker I did get from Steam.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the whole reason.
That's the whole
why.
point. You didn't know this?
Oh.
I mean, that's really the
I
only
think
reason
the
why.
only three softwares I've ever gotten from Steam are Asprite, Blender, and something like 5 years ago that I thought would help with game development, but in actuality sucked.
Okay.
It was a DWS. It was a music software.
Wait, Adobe bought them out, but they used to have Substance, Bitmap to Material, and all of that library was all on Steam, and you could just buy it on there.
Oh.
Bitmap to Material was amazing because what you could do is you could take a photo, like I could literally take a photo of like this texture or like the wall or anything, as long as it was lit correctly. I can then use that image, put it into Bitmap to Material, and it'll literally turn it into like a tileable material into Unreal.
It'll do bump mapping.
It does the bump mapping, everything based on your photo, but it needs to be
So,
like,
where
even
can I
lit.
find this for free?
Could be with any
Nowhere.
camera,
You
or
gotta-
be a special camera.
No, literally any photo, as long as it's a flat texture, we'll figure it out. So like I could go up to like that podium wall, or not podium, what do you call that, column,
Okay.
and see how it has like, oh, it has the part of the dots in it and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It'll do that and then auto mix them up for you. It was amazing.
I mean, surely there's got to be like some free equivalent just for like for bump mapping.
I mean, it was $50 and I used it for years. I don't know if I mean, like, let me check and see if it's there. They might have the old version up on there still. But they redid all of that because Adobe's trying to get into the game dev world.
Yeah.
I'm getting on Steam, but mine shows everything. Like, so there might be weird stuff. There's usually not. It's usually ads because.
For that.
If you've ever touched an Adobe product,
Okay.
I'm not gonna hire you. It's as simple as
Side note, Steam has told me that Titanfall 2 Ultimate Edition is on sale for $2.99. This is literally the best game I've ever played.
Oh yeah, agreed. It's just I wish they would fix their
Yeah.
servers.
Yeah, I was about to say, no, I'm talking about, no. There's single,
The single player is amazing.
the single player campaign is the best first person shooter campaign. Like I liked it more than I played it more than Half-Life and Half-Life 2 and those. I'm gonna lie. I mean, I'm gonna take back what I just said. Portal 2 are technically like better, but man, is it a great one. It's only $3. If anyone wants it, I'll just give you a copy. Because okay.
I have
Add me, Big Papa Leo on Steam if you want to add me.
Huh?
Big Papa Leo on Steam if you add me.
Big Papa
what that
Leo.
name comes from.
So,
Every Steve
All right.
has a story.
my name was Daniel Jackson or DJ, and so everyone would call me DJ. And then there was a song, and the big statement was, "Hey DJ, they like to call me Big Papa." And then there was this video game that I really liked, and the guy's character's name was Leo. And so finally someone was like, "You need to come up with a username." So I was like, "Okay, well everyone calls me. I don't like DJ because I need to write it out like D-E-E and then J-A-Y so that people know that it's DJ and not J or something like that." I'm assuming you ran into that. And like that, so I was like, okay, Big Papa Leo. That seemed to be
I mean,
the thing.
my other Steam account is just Saint Anger and Killer because I know that makes people really upset. Because like people consider that the worst Metallica album.
Why did I actually go to Steam? Oh, Bitmap to Material.
Why am I here? Oh right, video games.
He saw the sale in his mind went.
So I do have a question for you guys.
Okay, they got rid of it.
Oh,
Okay.
or music.
Anybody here have experience in music making music for your video games?
That's hilarious because my music
Yeah,
guy
I
was
have-
supposed to be here today, but he didn't show up.
Yeah, I have LMS because it's one I've been recommended for a beginner and all that stuff. I do not know anything music related. Music theory, music composing, all that stuff. All I know is I listen to a lot of music. I don't know what to start with or how to do it.
Okay, there was one video where
If you don't know anything about music theory, you might be better off going with like loop-based music instead.
What kind of music?
Loops.
Loops?
So get like a. Do you know what a DAW is?
Yes, I have DAWs. I have LMS.
So I would go on a site like Loop Masters, where they have a bunch of like 10 to 30-second loops of already created, drum loops and bass loops, guitar loops, keyboard loops, and then just stick those together like building blocks. That kind of gets you around having to come up with, chord progression, melody, and harmony, and all of that. If you don't know anything about that,
Okay.
That'd be my.
Are they royalty free or do I have to pay a royalty?
They have deals on there. So they have some. Well, so it's all royalty free, but you have to pay for. But you're once you bought the loop pack, you can put it in your game. You don't have to.
Okay.
Pay anything further than that. But they have a lot of deals on there, stuff you can just download for free on Loop Masters.
All right.
That's what Daniel and I did for our last game that we did together. It was all it was a drum and bass theme soundtrack.
like I watched two videos on LMS. One was someone explaining chords, and then some other joke meme video about Eurodance. I got this.
That is some badass elevator music. That wasn't me dissing. I was being honest. Like that sounds like an action version of the elevator music I hear, and so I'm like, oh, that'd be a nice like menu screen music. Like you're about to go into your corporate office and you're psyching yourself up.
Well, it does. Well, the game does take place in the 90s.
There you go.
Maybe
Add
some,
more
like,
synthwave.
maybe like some
Did you add me, Chandler?
geometric tiles.
Chandler, did you add me?
While Steam's kind of chugging along, I haven't done it yet.
Oh, okay.
I'll add you in sometime within the next 2 hours.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Is anyone using Steam? Like not as a user, but as like a developer?
Never touched the dips.
Okay, you.
I-
All right.
Usually what?
I know
So,
there is
using
one,
Steam.
but I kind of put myself to where I will not touch it until I've actually got a game to put up there. Otherwise, I feel like
Okay, so they've done two big updates since the last meeting. The first one was demos now get their own page. Have you guys seen that?
That was been
Automatically, or do you have to go update it?
I didn't look that deep into it, but basically, I am going to
button.
let me. You guys look away. I'm looking for. Okay, we have a Worship of the Cthulhu demo. I go to this. It has its own demo page now,
Okay, I've seen that.
and then you can add it to the wish list or do that.
Yeah.
And so you get your own demo page now, because what people were doing is they were spending $100 and being like, "Hey, here's this game, here's the demo," and they were just putting the demo out as a free game, and then people were like, "Oh, let me buy the full game." So they're like, "Let's just give people a page." And
they've been doing that. I thought mine had my own page.
no, so like say, let me go back.
I always forget you have to give them $100
So
before you
they're-
can post anything on Steam, and then they still take an additional.
If I want to, okay, so this is
Not
the
you have to make 1,000.
So this is the actual page, and then when you go down, it says, "Hey, you want the demo? It's right here." But this is the actual demo page, and then
You
it
have
has.
to set up the demo page yourself, or is it
Yeah,
they
you set
set
it.
it up themselves?
No, you have to set all this up yourself.
Okay, so can you opt out to have a demo page, or is it
No.
From now on, you have to have a demo page, and then you're
Like,
You have to
like
make a demo.
you have to make the demo page. You have to go out of your way to make all of that. It's not. They don't even care if you have a demo or not.
awesome.
But what was happening is it was getting clogged up of like, oh, get the prologue for my game or whatever, and it was like that's what was happening. Oh, Chan.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to accept you. I cancel that.
Good to be friends with you.
Yeah. Go to the Titanfall 2. You're not getting. Oh, you are getting ultimate because that's all they have now. View my card.
Yeah, and that is the only reason why I play Tactical too. It's just to replay the campaign over and over. I've tried playing the servers.
Didn't they get DDoS to death?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that
Yeah.
10-12 one?
Yeah, it's 10-12 1 2. Yeah.
Yeah, they both got DDoS.
All
But,
right.
I heard that somebody made a mod for Titanfall 2.
Sorry.
That fixed the server.
They overload.
But for them,
Fake
servers with fake users, you would never connect, and when you did connect, you'd be dropped in a second. Even if you had the best internet, it just there was no connection.
Okay.
But still, probably well, hands down one of the best.
For it?
Yeah, you gotta play this game.
feel like
Like he said he wanted it. Like I love this game.
Thank you.
You actually play it on. Hold on, let me see. You're doing just a single player campaign, right? It is playable on deck. It's not verified. So bad news.
That's good.
PC, right?
What?
You have a gaming PC, right?
Yes, back home.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's all you have.
Yeah, no, I just carry this with me to do like lighter work. I have a more dedicated gaming rig back home. I can actually run it.
Wonderful poor guy. This peak laptop.
It's probably still better than mine.
I actually hunt for pink things. I got this. I got my headset. Like I can't. My PS5. Yeah, my PS5. They had the pink controller, and I ordered it, and it was like, oh, it's sold out. I have not been able to find it anymore, and that's been like the biggest thing. Like if I can get it in pink or green, that's my plan.
$30 laptop.
Right.
If it works, it works. If it works, it works.
Slap an old SSD in it, it's almost. You only have one window open at a time.
Take it apart, put some more, what is it?
I did.
That makes it faster?
RAM. Yeah,
There's only so much you
I
can
did
do with
that too.
laptops.
Oh, okay.
I just need to upgrade the Wi-Fi card.
All right. So who's working on something that is stressing them out?
I had something that stressed me out recently.
Okay. Yeah, just wanted to been away.
So in the You Create thing I've been working on, I tried really hard because I want it to be with the drawing stuff. I want it to be color. I wanted to get the color and paste the color and whatever. But the tutorial I followed kind of does it as a 3D thing rather than a 2D thing. I don't know why, and I don't know how to switch it up. But it draws the mesh as this 3D meshes, I guess. Anyway, I tried really hard to make it into color, but you had to do something through a material and a texture and all of this other stuff. So I spent like 2 days trying to make it into color, but then I just made a new texture. It was a lot easier, and I should have just done that from the beginning.
Would the other way have looked cooler though, or does it look?
It
cooler?
would have just been easier for me coding wise.
Oh, okay.
Because the way that it gets to color is that I have a texture that's connected to all of these meshes, and it gets a pixel from that texture, and that's how it gets its colors for a pixel of the texture. So then it gets that pixel and that color red. It could get another pixel and that color green. I just have to coordinate it to where those pixels are. So like green would be 0.1 to the right and 0.20.
Okay.
With the size being 1, 1. Just because that's the full size, 100%, 0%.
Do you put collision in Blender or do you put it in Unity?
Collision?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like box splitters?
Yeah.
Can you even put that in Blender?
Yeah, I do it all the time.
No, I've
mean-
never put it in Blender.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, because I did it like 2 weeks ago. But basically, whatever you're done with, whatever you're making, textures and all, you then join them all together to have it towards one thing, and then copy it. The second copy, you do not do anything to it other than turn it in. No, wait, no. The second one, the first one you leave alone. You don't touch it. The second one, you put a. I always forget what it's called. The line between two codes or two numbers, and then you type in colony, And when you do that and then you run it as a object, it will then be exported as a item with all of its things collected. So
Okay.
I
Are they easily adjustable in Godot?
uh
Or do you have to, if you want to change the collider, do you have to re-port it back in?
when it comes to Godot, I had to re-import it because basically it makes the collision a part of the model, not a collision separate from the model when it is exported. I did it mainly because of how I was building the terrain. I did not want to go into Godot and have to re-put all of these blocks in.
Oh, you're
So-
talking about like a mesh collider.
Yes, it did the collision for me. So
Yeah, for mesh colliders, it's convenient. But
yeah,
For players and stuff, you don't want to do that, do you?
I do that usually because it both makes it to where it's faster and I don't go through the environment and go, no, the player's not going to go here, player's not going to go here. It's the only time I have it on the area I don't want a player to go there, then I'll make its own external collider and put it in the model in Godot. Otherwise, when I'm having the actual environment, I'm doing that in Blender. That's when I make it to where instead of just it being textured on stuff, bring it into Blender, and I have to collide it there, I do it all in Blender, and it makes it just exported as that, and it's done.
Okay. Just be careful, I guess, would be my advice. Mesh colliders can get funky.
Yeah, I did something wrong on the first time, and I don't know how it happened. I still don't know because I just impacted it again and it fixed itself. Somehow the model and the collision split on the axis. So basically, this still had collision, but so did this. And I kept on asking, why am I hitting nothing in the air? And I went through Godot and I turned on all my collisions to see it. And I was like, oh, that's why. It, for some reason, is flipping the collision.
Hmm.
Yeah. So be careful, but it was a nice little thing that I found out that I can do to not take hours of putting in individual collisions and stuff.
Whatever works for you, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
That's why I asked you, kind of like, does he do this too? I thought this was normal, but it might be just for a Godot user. That's why I was asking if you did it in Unity.
No, I changed colliders a lot, so I'd be running it for Unity. So
Okay.
Unless it was a static object like the terrain,
Yeah.
I would 100% use a mesh collider for that.
Yeah, I
That
do that
sounds
for the
very
terrain.
tedious.
When it comes to things like trees, bushes, or just things I want the player to interact with, then I do the collisions in Godot. Otherwise, if it's something like, no, you're not going to go through the floor, I do it in Blender so that it's just there and done immediately and I don't have to worry about it later.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about like what I would do.
Does anyone have a project that they want to pitch to other people? Be like, yo, I need help on this. Doesn't mean people are actually going to help you, and it doesn't mean like we're not the revenue splits or like
Hi,
hey,
I
like
want to make the new Skyrim. Because we've been waiting how many years after that trailer?
decade.
No,
The 10-year anniversary of the trailer. Prime 4. Is it 4 years?
No, Prime 4 soon.
Oh yeah, Prime 4 was a long time ago.
Yeah, and it looks good.
What? Prime 4?
Oh,
Yeah.
Metroid Prime 4.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the new Elder Scrolls.
I was.
Well,
and then they said Prime 4, and that's why I got confused.
Prime
too.
4
Like,
is
wait,
going to
what?
happen for Elder Scrolls.
Because the Elder Scrolls, what, is 7? Because Skyrim's 6.
Skyrim's 5.
Skyrim's 5? Oh, yeah, Skyrim's 5. So Elder Scrolls 6,
6, yeah.
stroke. Elder Scroll 6 has the launch trailer, not launch, the trailer was back in 18.
Yeah.
So, and I just saw an anniversary thing for it. There is a lot of people like going through the trailer to the point where they're calculating the shadows of the little mountains in the bottom left just to see what the time period is, where it is.
They probably weren't thinking about that when they made it.
Yeah, they're well, they're going to change all of that.
Yes.
Okay.
Listen,
Especially since it's been 6 years since they
But-
released that trailer, and there still is no notice of what's going on.
All right, they're
if
saying
reports were true that they didn't even start working on the game until recently, there's no way that they put any thought, just shadow.
they said the earliest the game was going to come out is 2026 for PC and Xbox.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, no.
The Starfield
Just bump that to 2028.
Yeah, Starfield, and there's having issues with Starfield. But no, it's because we've already done Hammerfell.
Yeah, it came June 2018.
Yeah, so the 6-year anniversary of we're doing this,
Yeah.
and they still haven't started until recently.
Well, I mean, GTA, whatever, 6, Vice City 2 is what I'm
Yeah.
going with. They're, when did GTA
GTA
5
5 was like 2012, 2013.
2013, I think. So it's past a decade.
Yeah.
But they didn't announce that they were working on it. They were like, no,
Yeah.
we're going to do Red Dead, and they did. So
Yeah, and the new
Civilization
people. We
keeps
are.
progressing.
Yeah,
I know, right?
I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, 6 years ago they made it to where. Yeah, we're thinking about it. We're working on something else first.
Yeah.
The thing that it came out with is not that good, and now it's
Wait,
like,
what wasn't that good?
Red Dead 2.
Starfield. Because I've seen so many
Yeah.
glitches and complaints about that game.
It just looks bad.
Yeah.
At least they're not like dragons.
I like
they
the
take the
I
dragons
like
from
the coffee mug model that's like 20,000 polygons.
There were so many memes about this.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a coffee mug that's got like thousands of polygons.
Why do AAA developers not express their shit?
So, anyways, is anyone working on anything and they're like, yo, so I'm working on and, I need help or we're thinking of doing stuff?
I don't think I told you what I'm working on, but I don't think I'm proud of it enough to go, hey, you want to help me on this?
Right. What about you, DJ, man? No? Okay. It's my usual go-to questions for everything. Is anyone else like working on something they want to talk about it or show it off or anything? Or you guys like, no? Like,
Well, we gotta go for another 40 minutes.
You know, it'd be funny if you purposely wrote super bad code in a game. Like, for instance, if you put human metrics into the games, like the computer had to count with its fingers,
okay.
or if you had a tick system that ran off of seconds, you went 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and you made it say that to get the seconds.
So now we're talking about bad Easter eggs.
Well, you heard
And
about
then if you change the language, it would actually be a faster tick.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know, Chinese might be like "Guangxi or something. I don't know.
there was a talk at it wasn't GDC, it was some other, I think it was like a European Developers Congress. They went out to make the worst language possible. So what were the highlights? They took all the worst parts from JavaScript, where it was like null is 0 and 0 is null, or empty is null, but 0 is not null, or something like that.
I've seen that.
There's no dollar signs; it's all euro signs or pound signs because they're Europeans. They would mix tabs and spaces. Instead of semicolons, you would need to use Greek question marks, which is the exact same character. You would never know. The computer treats it differently. Oh, it's such a great talk. This needs to be the most deviant person.
Was it any language?
Forget using a dub.
I was gonna say it has to be a hilarious
That
name.
dub turned into a punching bag because that.
Like it has to be like supercalifragilistic, like something like on that level of annoying.
What's it called?
Okay, this is off topic, but just because I said that. I started looking at songs, English songs in different languages, just see like what people have done, because some are really cool. And anyways, if you can find the Chilean version of Supercalifragilistic, they go epic on it. I found it on iTunes, and I was like, this is a beat. This is great. So I forget what.
I've done the reverse of that. I've found a lot of songs in other languages, and I made them to English. And there's a lot of very depressing songs that sound very, very
Yeah,
Being
right.
Upbeat.
And I'm just like,
The
man.
cow song.
you have the drawing side on your.
Yeah, no,
It's you don't have it on, but you're just so close to like just drawing it.
Oh, that I just.
I know, but it's just way too close to having an accident.
Is it disturbing you a little bit?
No, I just letting you know.
No, all good.
It's not like a knife or anything. You might
No, it's just a pen. It's not a knife pen. You get Revenge Shock for $5.99.
Do they have those?
Yes. It sucks is that it's not a workable pen. It's just that you click it and a little blade shoots out, and then you unclick it and blade goes back in.
Okay. So like a.
I think so. It was either that or you pull it off like it's an actual pen. It's just a knife. I was like, oh, that's so cool. Does it actually draw? No. Okay, never mind then.
Okay, so the language was called BS.
Yeah.
It was from NDC in Oslo.
Is it used in anything?
I think it's on GitHub. So if you want to build it yourself, you can go ahead and do that. I'll unlock
First
mine.
game coded in BS.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and share that.
You know what?
I
You know
can
what?
see how frustrating that would be as a
The
gamer.
most they make a rage game out of it. The most frustrating game ever, made out of the most frustrating language ever. The developer
I'll go
hated
on-
making this game. You're gonna hate playing it.
I'll go on itch and I'll host a game jam. for a game that's made with VS Code language.
Making it Holy C.
Holy see!
God's diamond.
Making sure they have to use both of them. The holy C, and then the devilish beast. Yes.
So he basically made up taking the worst part of every language and mashing it all into one. If you have an hour to kill,
Let's make a coding language that's using the new Gen Z lingo.
Oh, I saw that. I hate
If
that.
Riz.
It'll probably help your dating sim.
No, instead of instead of
Raise up that God or whatever.
instead of if I would not be around, and everyone else is find out.
There you go. All right. So are you guys you're all Mayfield people, right?
I am.
You are. Are they tagging along with? Are you guys like a group, or for our friends? But are you guys working on something together, hidden, and you don't want to talk about it yet, or nothing like that? You guys. Okay. I didn't know if it was one of those
You drag
things.
them along.
No, I don't know. It just kind of worked out.
All right. So what are your guys' like goals, like post this meeting, or like when you were coming in here, you're like, oh, this. I know you said art and learning that, but did you guys have like other goals that you're like, oh, I'm trying to get this.
Check it out.
So,
Check it out.
okay. What about you? Just something. Okay.
Job in the area because nothing's working.
Okay. Cherokee Nation is your best option.
They actually came to Tulsa Tech, and I
Yeah.
got to interview with some of the people. We had a mock interview that day. It was really cool.
Yeah.
I say I wanted a job, but also I don't think I'm qualified enough yet to.
No, go ahead. Like, give it a try.
Like literally, just go ahead.
But also, I live in Tulsa, so
It's Owasso.
I tried.
I mean, that's a very lot to get over.
I know.
anywhere.
I really don't enjoy it.
I'm the same. So that's why we're here.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm aware that Cherokee Nation is really great, and I do want to try to look into them because I like their LED screen.
Yeah.
But this is like a genuine question. I'm going to say this: are there any other options around here, or is it just that?
Okay.
I gotta say, you're attacking my tribe pretty.
Well, I'm just
No.
I'm genuinely
Okay.
curious because I've only heard of the Cherokee stuff.
Okay. So the quick answer is yes, but okay. All right. There's Bottle across the street. They're at a Tinto. They're sometimes hiring, sometimes not. So I would go bottlelearning.com. I don't know. Sam works there. You 100% could get an internship there.
Okay.
Like I would reach out to them and be like, yo, can I just do an internship? And then they would work it out. Like you could figure it out. So Bottle Learning, BODDL. I worked with them. I was an intern at a Tinto, and then I was loaned out to them and had an amazing time. So they do educational software, and hopefully, so they're nearby. So I think they're great and want them to succeed, so I send people their way. Where what exists but is a terrible company to work for is Exaltier. So if you hear about them, they used to be a place called Steelhouse. They
Oh, I think
yeah, they're garbage. Like everyone that's worked with them, they've like burnt every bridge. They've done everything you can. So like be warned of them. If you Exaltier or Steelhouse, be aware of them. Then you start getting into like CAD work and stuff like that. Do you have like CAD certifications or anything like that?
Seriously.
Because I like that's something you can do with like all the architecture. Because a lot of people are doing architecture visualization. So they want, oh, we have this CAD model, dumb it down, throw it into an engine, put it in VR, put it in this, and let's run it.
Oh, it's like converting it. That
Yeah. And so then, because I'm assuming, how old are you? Like 18, 17? So do you have another year left?
Oh, 10.
Yeah,
No, I'm done.
you're done. Okay. They have the CAD group that's also there. I think they're at Winley campus.
Oh, yeah. That would make sense.
Or at least they were years ago.
I definitely didn't hear about it, but
But a lot of people I know, they would go there, do drafting, do that stuff. But then because they had the art background and stuff like that, they got jobs without needing a college degree, and they just go that and all of that software. It's all the pipes and everything for building stuff. You're not building art and stuff like that, but it is a job here and it pays well. I know plenty of people that have paid off their houses doing that.
Yeah, it's just from I have like the skills, and it's probably because I'm new to this, but
Yeah.
it's like I have everything set up, and then there's the job of where I need to be, and this is non-existent. Like how?
Yeah, you gotta.
It's just like how do I find that?
Right now,
I
you gotta
can't
leave
just, like,
Tulsa.
Look at it and be like, give me a job in Tulsa, because obviously that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So it's just finding.
You can also look for fully remote jobs.
Yeah.
I've thought about that.
Are you going to college, or are you sticking? Are you going?
Not yet.
Okay.
It's just hard to apply for fully remote jobs somehow.
Yeah,
They want someone with a bachelor's minimum.
yeah.
That's
A lot
it
of
also.
places want associates at the least. I mean,
I don't know anyone that wants an associate. I haven't seen a job in years.
Hotel.
Bachelor's entry.
They don't, but a hotel doesn't care about. I'm talking about like if you go to a software company of any kind.
I've seen it was a remote work. It was associates. They wanted an associates in communication or something. But it was I know. I was like, that's a thing. But it was I found it on Indeed.com like a year ago. It was remote from California, and it was basically telemarketing.
Yeah, that's not it.
They try to trick you into that.
Yeah, and it's like I looked at the tech job and it showed up. So I was like, what? So there's a lot of places that are showing off.
They try to trick people into getting
Yeah.
those kinds of jobs.
Yeah.
So I completely understand why you're getting done.
Later, man.
Nice to meet all of you.
Nice. Be safe.
Okay. You're not getting a job without a degree. And the reason I say that is because we've done a bad job of making a net here of, hey, once you finish from tech or TU and all those places, you'll get an internship at this place and then get hired here. That barrier doesn't exist here.
That's what I was promised whenever I went to tech, and I used the internship portal. I was getting stuff for internships in the field that was not even closely related.
Yeah.
There are like 0 internships on the tech job. That
Yeah.
drives me crazy.
So, but even internships, like you couldn't even do the Disney college program or any of that stuff that would get you into those unless you're already out of school. We'll get into, all right, let's take a step back. So say you're not going to college at all. What you want to do is right now is go to upwork.com.
Upwork.
Have you been to Upwork?
That too.
I haven't.
Okay, you're going to go to Upwork. You're going to put your portfolio there, and you're just going to accept whatever crappy job someone wants from you of making something, and you're going to have a terrible experience, but you will have a paid contract by the end of the year. That is your best way, and start being like, hey, this person, they hired me. This is what I made for them, and stuff like that.
You have to be 18 for Upwork? Can you be a minor?
Yeah, when do you turn 18?
I think if you have a legal
Okay, you're
guardian.
fine. No, just wait until.
That too.
Just lie. Okay.
No, don't lie. Wait until. Yeah.
Don't lie to people that have your information and pay you.
Yeah.
Just wait 2 weeks.
Yeah, just wait 2 weeks. Go to Upwork, get whatever crappy job. Someone's gonna give you something that's gonna be awful, and just get it.
It's probably gonna
Actually,
be like children.
make the Upwork account. I will do something for like $50. I'll be like, I need this asset made, and then you just make it, and then I was your first client, then you can just use me as a reference.
Oh,
We'll just scam the system.
love that. Okay.
So just reach out whenever you get it.
They also need your ID. Do you have an ID?
Like,
Yeah.
driver's license?
Yeah. So once you get that, reach out and be like, yo, I'm going to do this. And it's just going to be a very cheap product. And you're just going to make one asset.
I
Sound
can
like you
fix
don't like
assets.
Upwork.
No, being an artist on Upwork, I imagine is terrible. Me going there, I've found all sorts of people that like they've done all the art for different games and stuff like that.
You gotta kind of dig for it though. It's loud, not.
You know, let me just pull up the website. So you go here.
Got a pretty big short list of what I think is pretty.
So I need a
If
3D.
you find your people through talk.
I mean, I've only used Upwork once to make a logo, and I liked how that turned out. Because a lot of people on Upwork are mostly Southeast Asia, anywhere there, India.
I got Croatia is where I got a lot of
yeah,
people.
Eastern Europe. A lot of the
All right.
second, third world countries.
This person. Okay, so if I want to, I can just go here and hire this person for $50 an hour. So this guy is in Bulgaria. I can go here. Scroll down. Here's his portfolio.
And they have a bunch of preset jobs that you can choose.
Yeah.
You'll get this or you'll get that. You just provide them the description, they'll make it.
All right, and so, but if I'm a, but so that's a, it's similar to Fiverr. Who said that? Yeah, it's similar to Fiverr. So that's doing it this way. If I just want to straight up hire someone to do something. Now, as an employer, what I can do, I can go to find talent, and then I can say, hey, I want to do a project. I'm trying to make this video game. I need a 3D artist that's going to make me trees or whatever, and put it on there, and then say my budget is $500, and I want so many trees made or whatever. It needs to be this style. And then people will bid and be like, oh yeah, I'll give you 500. Or other people will be like, you, it's gonna be 750. Or I'll just leave it blank, and then someone will be like, okay, it's 10 grand or whatever. You know, you never know what it's gonna be. So you go on there and then you just bid, like you look at jobs that you think you would want, and then you put in your bid. If you get it, you get it. If not, you move on.
Just done a bid of $50.
Yep.
I don't know what I'm signing up for.
Okay. So what I usually do, I found an artist that's really great now, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. What I did in the past was I went to Upwork. I said, hey, I want a house made. It needs to be low poly. It needs to be, you know, these colors, stuff like that. And then I let 3 people bid on it. I accepted all 3 of their bids. And then I figured out like who got it done quickly and on time, or at least at a decent time, or when they said they were going to get it done. Who, oh, I need to extend it, or did this, or who actually gave me something, like did they give me an FBX when I said I need an OBJ, whatever, right? And then once I was done with that, I found a girl from Croatia. She was really good, so I went with her, and then I was like, hey, this is the other project I'm working on, and I gave her the whole big project, and it was, you know, making like a whole video game.
Basically, you put them all through a trial run, and whoever got the best, you were like, yeah, I'm
gonna work with you. And so a lot of people do that. Like, yeah, you do a small job with this person or this person, but then it's like, you know, I'm just gonna hire you full time, just keep working on this project. And so I recommend Upwork because you're that's best right now. Have I thrown enough information at you? Because I'm ready for phase 2. Okay. All right. If you go to college.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part.
Okay. Needs to be famous.
Famous college?
Famous college. It sounds stupid. I know. Which one do you want to go to? The
You just said famous, guys.
okay. Why Noman?
Famous and expensive.
Yeah, because Noman is very famous, but it's very expensive.
Is it more famous than Caltech though?
I mean, it has a it's very close with Pixar, like buddy with Pixar.
Well, because all the Pixar people went to Caltech.
Yeah.
So that's why. All right. So the first thing you want to do is you need to sit there and say, okay, here's that line between your big career and where you're at now. Is college actually standing between that or not? You got to answer that yourself. Not right now, but like go on a spiritual journey and figure that out.
Better do it now than later.
If college is there, then you can go. No, it doesn't matter. Time doesn't matter. You can. There's always enough time to start over. So once you've decided, like, yes, the only way I can get to that goal is by going to college, then go to college. That famous college. The reason you want a famous college is because as soon as people start looking at resumes or anything, they don't care where you went in Nebraska if you were trying to get, if you got a great art degree and you worked with all these people that were ex-Pixar people that want to be, you know, goose farmers now or whatever, and they just do that as their day job. Mm-hmm. You want to get somewhere famous because that's how people look. There's a vanity to it. The other aspect of that is they usually have higher job placements in that industry. So Caltech, you said not MOA, which one? Noman. And then, but look up YouTube videos of these places and see what it actually is like. Because some of these are garbage pit holes that, yeah, they're famous colleges, but they're awful and they're going to close down. So like for years, fashion in Georgia, it was the Art Institute. And then they closed down because they were like, the place is garbage, like the whole school. Yeah, it was really famous and got all these people, but the school was actually awful. The next one you want to find is their alumni network. Like how connected are they? So I went to Full Sail and they have a great alumni network. Like if you want a job at or interview at Disney, their career fairs, Disney shows up. If you want, like Epic Games was there and so was Unity and stuff like that for there. So you go to those places that at their career fairs, they bring the heavy hitters. So figure out job placement and stuff like that. Because like, it's not like if you get a business degree and you can figure out how to start a business and just do it anywhere, like then you have to move to a metropolis that does that sort of stuff. You're gonna end up in LA or Canada or one of those places where there's a hub of actual. Are you doing animator or are you focused on other stuff? I mean, you said rigging, so I didn't know if that was games or animation.
Oh, it's gonna overlap in games most likely.
Most likely,
That's
okay.
what I want to do. That's in
Okay.
my-
All right. I will finish the spiel in a second, and then okay. So the next one is while you're on that journey of like, should I go to college? Is you need to go to conferences. So like, yeah, it's cool if you come here and all that, but like that's not real. Like it's not going to help you in the sense you got to go to big conferences. So the first one is GDC. So this is going to be. That's the virtual one. When is March 17th through 21st. This is a huge event that you're going to go there. If you like, when you here, let me see show floor. All right, so this is the show floor. I'm gonna. Oh no, I need video or images. So like when you go here, that's a tiny photo, but Xbox is there. So like they have all of the Xbox developers and stuff like that, PlayStation there, whatever engine you're using. They usually have a big Unity booth and a big Unreal booth, and it's not actually like a competition. No one actually cares. If you're working on something in Unreal, like say you're a programmer or whatever, I can literally go and be like, yo, I'm stuck in this area. And they'll be like, okay, Jeff actually codes that part of the engine. So go talk to him. You'll go talk to Jeff, and then Jeff can you describe your problem, and then Jeff can figure it out. When Adobe's there, and then they show off all their new projects and stuff like that. Blender's not because it's a non-profit plan. Like, I mean, like the people are there. But you go to those sort of things, and then that's how you get connected. But they literally have a hiring thing ahead of time. So you get as many interviews ahead of time and go talk to recruiters, and then you just go interview to interview to interview, and then you actually meet people. But like, it's not like sit down and like, oh, here is this. It's like you have 10 minutes to prove why you're best. Like I went to Insomniacs, and they're like, you got 5 minutes. Tell us about you and why you should be part of Insomniac Games, because they were just announced the first Spider-Man game last time. And stuff. The next one, because you're in art, is you need to go to SIGGRAPH. You know what that is?
SIGGRAPH?
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of this terminology. So
SIGGRAPH. SIG graph.
Yeah. Here we go.
The computer graph.
So this was just last weekend in Denver, if I remember correctly. Yeah. It just ended. All right. So this is everything that has to do with anything visual arts. So say you are NVIDIA and you're programming the parts that are like, oh, this is how it works on the computers and stuff like that. They'll send those people out and be like, okay, this is the new tech we're going to use, so that Adobe knows how to talk to each other. If Adobe's going to announce something that involves like 3D animation or whatever, this is where they're going to announce it all. And you go here, and they have a bunch of speakers. Like example, years ago, whenever they did it, that's when Pixar went and they showed off all of their stuff of like, oh, this is what we're doing years before they made Toy Story or anything. They were showing off their tech so that they could sell their Pixar machines and stuff. Like SIGGRAPH's been around a long time, and so if you're in that, yeah, it's like, okay, NVIDIA's there, EA, Autodesk. Like, do you use Autodesk at all, or like Maya and everything? Okay, but like the Maya people, when they are announcing like what's going to be in there, you go there and they literally have hands-on, and the people that write a code out Maya are there to answer your questions, so that you know exactly like what to do to give your project the best. And yeah, so for you need to go to the next SIGGRAPH.
Okay, where is that?
Well, this last one, they just ended. It was.
Oh, do they move every year?
Yeah, it literally was in Denver last week, and so.
But it's not there every year. It's not.
No, it's been. I don't know where the next one's going to be.
Probably haven't decided.
I don't know. Let me see. SIGGRAPH 2025. Where are we going to be at? Is that Singapore? No. Coming soon.
Vancouver.
Oh, Vancouver. So you got to go to Canada in August of next year.
I don't want to go to Canada.
And that sucks for you because you don't want to drive. So
Well,
I'm just
train.
yeah.
Not in America, you can't.
Yeah. Okay, I'm done bullying. Okay, do you have any questions or anything?
Me or anything?
You, based on what I just said, and then I'll go to everyone else.
I don't know. I'm fresh out of high school and what's the type of just trying to figure stuff out,
Right
but
on.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. What about anyone else? Anyone else on their journey? And hey, where do I go or anything like that?
So, as someone who wants to get a good job in the computer science area, like software engineer, that kind of thing, I graduated from University of Tulsa. By the way, so what is the path for that?
So right now, what you want to do? I mean, you already have a job, right?
Yes, I'm a database developer for a local business.
Yeah. What I would do is hit up conferences that you can go to. As far as, what language are you using?
Visual Basic for applications with the proprietary software they're using, as well as a more specialized formula language.
Is that what you want to be doing now? Is that what you want to be using and doing? The reason I say that, because like, say you're like, man, I want to be the best at AWS servers or Azure servers or something like that, or Google has different cons and stuff like that. I would figure out like, oh, I like using this sort of software in this language. Like there's CPP-Con for C++ people. Like you can go to that and then they explain it, like they do the determining of, oh, this is what C++ is going to be in the future and stuff. And they, like, people submit their white papers and they have like big talks and stuff.
I'll be honest, I'm still in the process of finding my footing on a specific language per se.
What's the job that you want? Like, what's the company you want to be at?
I don't know.
Because I'm assuming you're wanting to be at like a animation studio. Game, you want a game studio, not animation? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna use her as an example, or whatever. What game studio?
I really like the stuff CD.
Okay, so you're gonna get a passport and move across.
They're opening.
Yeah, no, they are supposedly opening one in the States, but the closest one is in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Is that really?
All right. So open positions. We're gonna go down. Allow all cookies.
Their position page is really confusing.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say animation. No. Art. I'm just gonna go use. You're gonna be in previs on it. Is that okay?
I mean, I'm not really applying, so.
I know, right? All right. So we're gonna say we're going here. When they go to the qualification, so figure out what the job is that you're wanting. All right, if you're going to do this one, you need an understanding of the film language, how to use it, create it, at least 5 years experience in previs, whatever. Proficiency in camera animation, acting, positioning, timing, strong knowledge of visual. Man, did you go to film school, basically, is what they're asking, and do you know how to put a movie together? So this one, they're not really worried about, basically they just want to know, like, they want to see a bunch of your work in other projects. So like if you were going to apply to this place, you would need like 3, like, I was in this game, this is what I did and how I did it, here's a video. They want to see a video with theirs if you're going to do this one. I'm going to go to programming for you. Was that engineering?
Yeah.
You want to be a data science? You were doing data science or no?
Oh, so where are the other?
Physics engineer, lead network programmer, engineering director of network, senior buy and data engineer, core tech engineer.
Core tech engineer.
All right, let's look at this one. Qualifications, do you know Unreal?
No.
Okay, well, they're in Unreal. You need to have deep knowledge of Unreal. You need to have deep knowledge of C++.
Jeep.
Did I say Jeep?
Deep.
Oh, Jeep.
Jeep size.
Yeah, Jeep size.
Jeep.
Wide knowledge of video game systems and stuff. Whatever. Have you made a game before?
Yeah.
Experience working on various platforms. Have you worked on Xbox? Have you worked on PlayStation? Stuff like that.
I've only worked on PC.
Yeah. So I mean, this was a senior position and stuff. And have you at least shipped one AAA title?
Do you
Way to
have
go,
to
right?
ask?
I know, right?
I've always asked wondered that what defines something as a AAA title? Does it have to be basically produced by a company, or can an individual produce?
No,
a
it has to be. It had to have a budget of 50 million or more at this point.
That's a lot of.
Yeah.
Put them in my budget.
So, anyways,
My games.
So basically, even the guy that produced Stardew Valley, even though his game is one of the most.
no, it's not.
It's not
It's not AAA.
Not AAA.
No.
No.
It's
AAA.
not how many people are playing or how many copies.
Baldur's
it
Gate
sells.
is not AAA.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate's not AAA.
Baldur's Gate's actually AA, isn't it? Because it's made by a small company.
The double A's a loose term.
Okay.
I never understood that whole like AAA, AA, and all that stuff.
Okay.
All I
Okay.
know is AAA is like company, and then there's indie. I've only known those two.
Okay. Let's break it down.
These are for
fast.
TV.
All right. Hold on. We'll break it down into categories here. Okay. First party developer is Nintendo. Nintendo hires out a company called Rare, and they want them to make Donkey Kong Country back for the Super Nintendo, right? So they're saying we're going to allow you to, or Metroid Prime 4, right? Or with Retro. We'll use that as a more modern example. So Retro, well, they bought Retro, so that doesn't count. So they're a first party company. So anyways, Rare, when they did Donkey Kong Country, they became a second party developer because they were using the first party IP in that game, right? So does that make sense? So there's a first party developer, a second party. If I go there and I want to make Stardew Valley for the Super Nintendo, and then I give them my copy and all that, I am a third party developer. So that's developer status of like where you're at in the process. And then your budget for each game varies. So back then, if you had like 10 people, you were a AAA game working on a Super Nintendo game. Whereas now, if you have 10 people working on a game and a $12 million budget, you then go into different categories of, say you're alone and you're a third party developer, you would be considered an indie. But since you have a decent amount of budget, you're called triple I, meaning you have enough budget to do that and all that.
Okay.
If you technically were a triple I and then you move in, and then this is all BS terms that people just make up. So I'm just giving you the net of what I'm going with. So say you have.
I'm trying to look up Google. There's not like a confirmed anything.
So
in fact, there's only one ever quadruple A game.
Oh, we'll get into that. I'm getting it. Yeah. So.
Oh, I got to hear about that. Quadruple
All right.
A.
So then there's double A. That's where you're probably a second party developer and you're given a triple A amount of money towards developing a game and you finish a game.
Okay.
So a more recent one like that would be the it's like a RTS game, a war game on the Switch. Total? No. Switch RTS. It's turn-based. Man, Advanced Wars.
Oh yeah.
Advanced Wars would be a triple or a double A game because like it was a triple A company hiring them out to do that. If Nintendo spends a whole bunch of money making Tears of the Kingdom and they have 50 plus people working on it and they're spending over 50 million, that is a triple A game. And allegedly Ubisoft had a game flop last month.
No, it's not allegedly, I believe.
Ubisoft.
Skull and Bones?
Yeah, Skull and Bones.
Oh, that finally came out.
No, not only it came out and flopped, but apparently they were saying it is so beautiful, so amazing. They're calling it the first quadruple A game. So they just made that up and pulled it out of the butts.
It was a huge budget for that game.
It was a huge
like in the
budget.
billions or something?
Billions now.
I don't God, not if it's flopped.
GTA.
Oh, 200 million, sorry.
200. Yeah, but GTA 5 was 250 million back in 2013. And then GTA 6, I want to say they're only at like 300 million for that one.
Call those
Only 300.
Yeah, I would call them that. Anyways, did that explain everything? What was even something started that? That was a snowball side story.
That it was his job application saying
Oh,
that
job
he needs
application,
to
yeah.
have. Have you worked on a AAA game?
Yeah, he worked on AAA game. That's why we're doing.
And I'm just like, what's so even if the guy that produced Stardew Valley all on his own, music, all that stuff, apply for that, he would still be disqualified because he's never.
Yeah.
Like what?
Right. Okay. So what I was getting at with you, Chandler, get a list of like 10 to 15 jobs that you're like, oh, I'd like to work at this place, or these are the positions I'd want to work, and then see what the general thing is. Like, obviously, if you're going to work in games, if you're going to be with Unity, you need to jump into C#. No AAA game company right now is using Godot. Eventually, it'll get there, but not right now.
I think one just announced today they're making the next Marvel game in Godot.
Wait, I got that.
Doesn't mean it's a AAA game. They probably are just a licensed thing.
No, it's like a first party studio. They're getting there.
But
Yeah.
it'll happen.
I have previously worked in Unity.
Yeah. It's what you're at TU. That's why I was saying that.
Since your car engine or Unity that was it's just Unity you progression that we don't slowly going out there.
If you're making a huge game, it's gonna be either Unreal or whatever you're on.
Yeah. I'd say Unity's up. I'd say Unreal, Unity,
Because
and then just
Bethesda, they use their own engine, right?
who?
Bethesda.
Bethesda does.
Yeah.
Because it's all they know.
But a
It's
lot,
all they have.
but a lot of people are switching to Unreal and Unity because you can just go get an indie dev and put them as a junior position, and they'll know what to do.
What's GTA 6 be made on? Is that Rage? Or is that-
It's Rage still,
Rage there?
but it's Rage version 5. Rockstar Advanced Game Engine.
Yeah.
So Rage.
Like the leaked code comments for GTA 5.
Every
time I read those comments, it just cracks me up.
leaked code comments of GTA 5 and Half-Life are some of the most like
Half-Life? I didn't see Half-Life.
Half-Life is unhinged. They're like, this doesn't work. Who put it in here? Like, they're like it's just a downward
The
spiral.
TF2 ones are great too.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
My hope is that this code is so terrible I'm never allowed to touch BGUI code
I've actually-
again.
That's the one where
Half-Life we refer to
Yeah,
as
that's the
Half-Life
one that where
I've never
that's the one that where they
Oh, it's a great
flash
game.
paint
I've
icons
never
for-
played it before.
It's amazing, especially for the time. I would do Half-Life 2. Just jump into Half-Life 2.
All I know is that there's head crabs. That's all I know about Half-Life 2.
All right. I'm gonna in stream and close my laptop, but we still have 7 minutes left. So goodbye, everyone. Have fun.
Bye.
No, there are people.